As 2021 is coming to a close, I'm reflecting on the year and going, was it better than 2020? Debatable, but one thing that I can say for certain is there were a lot of little things that brought me joy this year, and yes, I am bringing this video back because I did it last year and it was a lot of fun, so I just wanted to tell you about some of the little things that brought me joy through a year that had a lot of ups and also a lot of downs, and they were just things that are kind of inconsequential, don't really matter that much, but put a smile on my face every now and again, and that made 2021 just a little bit better. Let's start with entertainment, because there was a lot of entertainment this year. Starting off with Love Island UK is back on the list, baby, because I love that trash TV. It's so good. If you've never seen Love Island UK, you gotta watch it. I think I'm currently watching season 5 with my friend George. And the reason why Love Island brought me so much joy is not only because of how good garbage TV it is, but also every week, I think this entire year, except when we like miss a few days, my friend George and I have talk time where we talk for a little bit and then we watch an episode or two of Love Island, and it's like the highlight of my week and I love it. So Love Island has been the vehicle for a lot of joy, not just because of the TV. So 20 years late, I know, calm down. I watched all of the Lord of the Rings movies this year. My friend Melanie's 30th birthday was this year, and what she wanted all of us to do, like our group of friends, is to watch the Lord of the Rings with her. So we watched all 6 movies because they're in halves, but there's 3 movies, but the parts and then the extended editions, and we watched it all. It took us a couple weeks to watch it. It wasn't a one-day marathon, and thank God it wasn't. But I have to say, I've been missing out, and I know I have. I've always wanted to watch them, but that's a lot of film to watch by yourself. So it was great watching with friends, but I fell in love with the franchise, and I just love it so much, and there's just so many good gems in there, and I love like fantasy type of things, like Harry Potter and all that nonsense, and like Star Wars and Star Trek, and obviously this is not the same thing, but this is my vibe, and I very much enjoyed it. So if you, it's literally the 20th anniversary year this year. If you've never seen Lord of the Rings and you like fantasy type of things, you will love this. Like, it's just, yeah, there's just so many heartwarming things. There's so many, it's just such a good, I loved it. Thanks, Melanie, for having me finally watch Lord of the Rings. So Disney came out with a ton of hits this year. We had Luca, Raya and the Last Dragon, and Cruella. Oh my gosh. Okay, I didn't think I was gonna like Cruella because I'm not like a villains type of girl. Like, I'm not that type of Disney fan that's just like villains. Ooh, like, not me. Cruella, the story that they made as her origin story was so good. Like, I saw it at the drive-ins. Fantastic. Then Luca, throw my heart into pieces, that's fine. Really loved Luca. Raya and the Last Dragon was just like, that is my, I love the lore and the mythicality around the story of the Last Dragon, and then also like Raya is such a badass, and the journey that you go on, and it was just like this adventure, like okay. In the Heights was amazing. I just love movie musicals because it reminds me why I love doing what I love doing. I started watching Ted Lasso. I watched like the first, I think 3 episodes or so on my flight from the US to UK because it felt very like fitting and poetic, and I love Jason Sudeikis so much. If there's anything you need to know about me, I'm in love with that man, so I was already on board for this show, and it's just absolutely up my alley. The Chase is something that my mom and I would watch like every week. We would go get like dinner or lunch or something like that and then watch an episode of The Chase, the US version. If you like Jeopardy and you like game shows like that, like trivia game shows, you will love The Chase. And then the last thing on my entertainment list, I've been telling everybody and their mother, and I am not this type of person. I'm not this like, you need to see this movie type of person, but if you have not watched Free Guy, I think it's in my top 5 movies of like all time. It's with Ryan Reynolds, and what I love about this movie is that it took every opportunity that they could with the story and the universe and the possibilities. It was like nobody said no to a good idea. I don't know how to explain it, but I'm just like thinking about the concept of this movie that I don't want to ruin for you, so like go watch the trailer and then go see it. But like, it just, once again, it reminds me why, not reminds me, but it reinvigorates the feeling in my heart of why I love doing what I do. And I want to be in a movie like that because Free Guy is funny, it is creative, it is heartwarming. It makes you think about like the world, even though it's mainly based in like the world of like video games. I'll give you that much. But this movie is just, yeah, it's unparalleled. You need to see it. You need to see it. Okay, music. We've got 5 albums that all came out in 2021. That was not planned. Spaceman by Nick Jonas, Montero, Lil Nas X, OK Orchestra by AJR, Stranger by Yayah, and this is not a joke. I think my second or third most listened to album this year is the Unofficial Wii Sports soundtrack by Gabriel Gundacker. I'm not gonna say anything else. I'm just gonna go listen to it. Okay, books, because I'm a book bitch now and I have a book category. Ooh, look at me. I got so many books. I mean, I've had so many books, but I've actually read 2 books this year. Yeah, that's right. I can read. I'm smart. I'm literate. So the first book that I read this year, I picked up not knowing the people who it was about, and this is Stay Sexy and Don't Get Murdered by Karen Kilgariff and Georgia Hardstark, who are the hosts of the My Favorite Murder podcast. I had never listened to this podcast, but I have many people who have recommended it to me, and I just like, I don't know why, I just wasn't interested. Also, the first 30 minutes of all their podcasts are them like kind of just like chatting shit, and if you don't know the people, it's like hard to get into a podcast. So anyway, then I went to the beach over the summer and I like reading at the beach and I forgot all my books at home, so I went to Target and then I saw this and I was like, that sounds like an interesting title, and I opened it and there's a chapter in here called, oh yeah, You're in a Cult, Call Your Dad, which is apparently a thing from the podcast. And so I was like, yoink, I'm gonna read this. This sounds interesting. And then I realized it was from the My Favorite Murder gals, and it's a dual memoir from the creators of the #1 hit podcast, My Favorite Murder. I really enjoyed this. I read like half of it at the beach, which that's a lot for me as a person who hasn't finished a book since like 2018, but like I don't read, but now I read, so that's cool. I know I had book category, or I talked about a book in last year's this video, but now we've got a category because I'm a reader now. I own a Kindle, not to brag. I read this whole book and then started listening to the podcast, or I got like almost all the way through it and then started listening to the podcast. They tell stories, they're very funny people. I mean, like Karen's a literal stand-up, and then Georgia is like a comedian like type of person, but she's not like a stand-up comic. But anyway, it's really easy to get through. I don't know how else to say it, but just like I really enjoyed this book. So if you like comedy things, but also a little bit more on the, I don't want to say edgy, but like it's a true crime podcast where they do kind of comedy in it and whatnot, and like that is how they speak in the book. So yeah, just really liked it. This was the first book I finished this year and I was very happy to finish it. Then I finished this like 2 weeks ago. I read this in a month. I read a book that I didn't have to read for school in a month because I'm so wicked smart. I'm so proud of myself. And this one is The Anthropocene, reviewed by John Green. No, I have never read a John Green book. I'm not a John Green gal. I'm a John Green Vlogbrothers Nerdfighteria gal, but I'm not like a Fallen Her Stars, Our Stars, Looking for Alaska, Turtles All the Way Down type of gal. So I wanted to read this because I knew it was more of a memoir-y type book. If you can see a theme here, I like reading about real people and their lives, but in the way of talking about, oh, here we go, essays on a human-centered planet, which it's like personal essays about the world and just random things. I loved this book because, once again, easy to read. Don't feel like I'm like racking my brain to wrap my mind around these things, but he talks about really big concepts and just like crazy stuff. It's really palatable. Also, it's nice and condensed in chapters that don't relate to each other. They kind of do. But like, if you want to just read a chapter, you can read a chapter and then be done and not feel like you're in the middle of a story, but at the same time, it's a page turner. So I'm a book bitch. Ah. Okay, games. So yes, Animal Crossing is still on my list. I check in every day. I need to check in today. I get my carrots, I get my pumpkins, I shake down my trees, and then I'm on my merry way. That's honestly all I really do, is just like harvest fruit and vegetables and sell them, but it makes me happy. The New York Times crossword, she's still on my list of things I'd like to do. I'm sitting on the tube and I'll do myself a little crossword mini. And once again, I like to feel smart, and I've just felt so smart this year. I've read books, I've done crosswords, I've learned languages. Wow. Okay, on the list of things, on the games list of things, these two games here have completely taken over my life, and I haven't played them in months, and that's really sad because my mom and I played these like multiple times a week, sometimes upwards of 10 times a week. Sometimes every day we would play both games, but these games, they're card games called Skip Bo and Phase 10. I literally bought an extra copy, or version, whatever, bought extras and brought it with me to the UK so I could play it with people, because these are just such fun card games to play with anybody. You can play with like, I think up to 10 people. Okay, it says 2 to 6, but they're just like, it says on here, addictively simple, simply addictive, and that applies to both of them. This is a rummy type card game with an exciting twist, and it's just like feels very akin to like solitaire, but exciting. I don't know how to really explain it, but if you're looking for easy to play, feels very similar to Uno. This from the same people who made Uno is Skip Bo. It is just a fun game that you can kind of set up. They don't take terribly too long, especially if you're playing with 2 people. Phase 10 is a game that you can like stop in between rounds. There's an app that helps you keep score, which I definitely recommend downloading. For Phase 10 Skip Bo, there's no scores that really keep. I miss playing with these with my mom, and I don't want to get sad, so I'm not going to talk about that anymore. Okay, now to wrap this up, this is just like the little things category. So there's not enough for any category, but I'm going to start with another thing that my mom and I do together, and that is puzzles. I just got this puzzle. I was not planning, like when I was thinking about making this video, I was like, oh, I like having things I can show on camera, and I don't have a puzzle here. And then I went to the only Disney store and I think of all of the UK yesterday, and they had this puzzle on sale, and look how beautiful it is. I'm so excited to do it. But my mom and I did, like, if you watched our Christmas card video, I think we did like 15 puzzles this year, probably more than that. I love doing puzzles. It's relaxing. In the last like couple of months before I left for the UK, we were going through like a puzzle every couple of days, and it's just nice to just sit there and like, maybe you don't even talk, but it's a good way to spend time with a person. Puzzles, I like them. I'm gonna do that one. It's 1,000 pieces. I'm a little nervous. Okay, things that are also back on the list. I don't know if you can see my little Wishables collection, but don't worry. The addiction to these little plushy stuffed animals has gone away. It's not gone away. It's only gotten worse. So I did make sure to bring Wishables with me. I have a whole shelf up here. I'll show you right now on camera. Insert clip. And I've got a whole bunch right here. And literally the last time my mom sent me a package, she sent me Wishables that I ordered that I had sent to the house because they won't ship to the UK. I need to take the tags off. Look how cute they are. They're for the 50th anniversary of Disney World. They're cute little outfits. I just love them. Oh, I love these stupid things so much. I hate how much I love them. This next one is a little bit more of an update from last year, but yes, I'm still knitting like crazy, and honestly I think I started knitting even more this year. I have finished a blanket, two blankets, and a shawl thing, and I think a scarf? I can't remember, but I actually finished projects in 2021. How amazing. I'm working on another one. This is my grad school one that I'm just like, it's kind of funky. It's kind of fun. But yeah, I've been knitting more. Unlike what I said in my last year's video, no, 2021 was not the year to start doing things that aren't squares and rectangles. As you can see, still into squares and rectangles. That's all I can do. That's probably all I'll ever be able to do, but you know what? I've come to accept it at this point. Okay, so I'm still on my Duolingo stuff. I've been on and off while I've been here, but for Christmas I bought myself a year-long subscription to Duolingo Plus, so now I have to do it. Hopefully in next year's video I will still be saying that I'm liking doing Duolingo. I am learning more. Listen to this. Listen to this. I went to Holland this year because I had a layover when I came to the UK. I was able to talk Dutch to Dutch people because of Duolingo. I've never been more proud than to say, I'm sorry, I don't speak Dutch. Do you speak English? In Dutch. Come on. That moment, aside from being in Holland and like trying not to have a breakdown because of how happy I was, that was a highlight of this year. This is not about highlights of the year, but that was something little that brought me joy. You want to know something little and stupid and inconsequential that makes me so happy? A half drinking soda. I don't know if you can see this. Can you see the ice? Oh, that is so condensation-y. Can you see the ice cubes that are in here? Do you see how they're perfect little globes? They're little balls. I got 2 ice trays from TK Maxx, which is like TJ Maxx except it has a K instead of a J. That are like, I think they're called Scotch Rocks, but these little ice cube ball silicone things. And when I tell you I saw it, and I the first time I had an ice cube ball in my drink, and it's a little set of 4, I was just so happy. It's so much ice, but in a ball. And then it's just different. I love these ice cube balls. It's the little things. It's like also this glittery straw, you know, but that's not on the list. It's the ice cube balls. Get yourself a fun ice cube tray. Once again, you'll thank me later. You know what's also great, especially when you live in a place that's really cold? An electric heating blanket. I've had one before. It used to be on my bed, and then I came here and I desperately needed one, and helps me sleep at night, but also just keeps you cozy. Trying to cuddle up with a good book. Put a already warm blanket on yourself. That could stay warm for up to 9 hours. It has a timer on it. There's different levels. Heating blankets. Love my heating blanket. You know, one of my favorite little things from this year, because I was going on a lot of walks in 2020, and I did a lot of walks in 2021. I haven't done any, honestly. I haven't like just walked around my neighborhood since being here because I have to walk all the time to just get anywhere, so I'm already walking a lot. But in the, like, I would say, it started when I moved all my stuff back from Southern California. That's where my bike was locked up, and I got a new seat for it. I got like a handlebar raiser thing, and I love going on bike rides. I've been wanting to get a bike since I've been here, and that is my goal for January, is to acquire a bike so I can go on bike rides, because I love going on the bike rides, and there were these really cool bike trails by the river by my house in California, which was just awesome. But still, going on a bike is like a way to get exercise. It's lower impact. You feel the wind in your hair. You're going fast. You can see more things. Like, bikes are so much fun, dude. So if you have a bike, take it out for a spin. Go dust it off. And you don't need to go far. You don't need to do anything crazy. I started doing things crazy, but you can just go on like a bike stroll. And it's just so delightful, and I miss that. So 2022, more bike rides for me in these UK streets. Another little thing that's like, it's a little thing, but it's not that big of a deal, but it's like, whatever, it's me. I've gotten so much joy from photography again. I did my first sessions that I've done since like the pandemic started in 2021, and it was just so fun to get back out there and taking pictures of people, because I just love taking pictures of people. And then I really tried to get myself out there and like going on reasons to take pictures of not just like, oh, I have a session with somebody, but like taking pictures at the zoo, or like going on walks, or like taking my camera more places. I've been having so much fun editing photos. I just found so much joy again in photography, and I think it's because I kind of had to take a break from it for so long because of like personal life stuff and like world stuff, and it's like when you're locked away at home, it's hard to be inspired. But I really had just such an awesome time with my camera and taking pictures. Yeah, photography brought a lot of joy this year. Okay, well, my camera's gonna run out of footage, so I need to end this video. That is all the little things that brought me joy in 2021, and I hope that there were things that brought you joy this year, whether they be big or small. It's about finding the joy in the little things, honestly, because that's what gets you through day by day. You can't do big things every day, but you can have just the little things that make you happy, like putting ice cube balls in your soda. It's just like the little things that get you through, and I think it's fun to like reflect on that and celebrate that, because you can add to your arsenal of things that will make you smile, like little stuffed animals on your shelves or picking pumpkins in a virtual world. Who knows? But I hope that you had a wonderful 2021 and that there was more light than there was dark. But in the darkness, I hope you found little things to bring you light. Okay, we're gonna try to do this fast because I'm running out of time on my memory card. Oh my god, okay. Before I go, thank you so much to my patrons. These are all the top tier patrons on my Patreon. If you want to support me like they do, you can go to patreon.com/Annelies. These are the top tier patrons, but I have patrons all the way from $1 to $10. Thank you so much to these wonderful people, beautiful people, so generous. And thank you to all my patrons of past, present, and future. Subscribe to my channel if you're new. Like this video if you liked it. Okay, I've got like 30 seconds. Let's see. Oh, my YouTube channel was also one of the things that brought me so much joy this year, even though the last couple of months have been hard to post on YouTube because of being here and living with 6 other people and being in grad school and all that stuff. I still love my YouTube channel. It is one of the most important things I have in my life, and I'm so grateful to everybody who has watched my channel over 2021. So thank you so much. Otherwise, that is it for me. Stay beautiful. Have a marvelous day, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!